So make your plans now to come to Waterland, USA. Call 872-6144 for details and group rates.
We're on in now with a story that has more twists and turns than a Tom Seaver curveball.
Yeah,
really?
Well, let's hope it's a snowball rolling in our direction. But as of today, our information is that the NBA Relocation Committee will meet in New York on Wednesday of next week to continue the process of the Timberwolves' proposed move to New Orleans, and it appears likely that the Minnesota interests, including the governor of that state, will be there too to try to stop the team's flow down here to New Orleans. Tough luck for them. The NBA Finals start tomorrow in Houston between the Rockets and the New York Knicks. Both teams on the floor for workouts today, including the Knicks, who have survived two really tough 7-game ordeals to see the inside of the finals, while the Rockets have had almost a week off since they earned the right of passage. And the question is, who does that benefit?
It's been a long wait, and we've had a week to work out. And it's good to finally get out there and get back into action.
I think by tomorrow night, the 2.5 days or 3 days that we've had, they're going to be fresh and ready to go. We've had a tough struggle, 2 7-game series, but I think from a conditioning standpoint, they're going to be just right.
Well, I've got to like the Rockets, though, not because they're more rested, but because they're more explosive offensively, and that Olajuwon-Ewing matchup at center will be worth the price of a ticket, which I'm told is pretty steep since they can legally scalp them in Texas. Now, football. The Saints already have one of the most community-aware teams in the NFL amongst their players, and that only got better with the arrival of quarterback Jim Everett, who today announced his charity effort called The Winning Connection. With it, Everett has pledged $500 of his own money to the Special Olympics for each and every touchdown pass completed this year for the Saints. And he's invited businesses and individuals to do better than that or match his offer.
When people do donate on a situation like this, we're going to get jacked up because we're going to be throwing some touchdowns, number one, and hopefully winning a lot of ball games. But two, the kids are winning too, and so it's a win-win.
Well, Jim Everett will be part of our Channel 8 sports football specials running up ahead of the Monday night football game, so we'll be rooting for Jim to throw a few touchdowns, too. Now, the Freeport McMoran Junior Golf Classic cruised through round 1 today out at English Turn. A large field of the best junior golfers in America, including 21 kids from Louisiana here, were tearing up the course today. And if you want to check out the leaders on the boys' side, look at this. Michael Henderson, who won this thing last year, is in with a 69. He's tied with Mason Rogers of Gulfport, Mississippi. Chip Zahn from across the lake in Mandeville is at 72, in touch with the leaders. Amongst the girls, who are only 20% of the field, Jennifer Waterhouse of Texas is in with a 75. She leads them. Laura Blessey from across the lake had an 86 today. We'll hope the next 3 rounds are kinder to our local kids.
Absolutely.
All right, Ron.
Thanks.
Ever wonder what it would be like to travel back in time?
No, you can get a small taste of the past at one metro area mall this week. Find out why you don't want to miss this boat next on News 8 at 6.
Last year, we introduced Formula Shell gasoline. It's nice to see so many folks getting a kick out of it. Shell, the world's best-selling gasoline.
Now at Pep Boys, $5 rebate on Gabriel Pro Rider shocks. Struts, $10 rebate.
Come to Pep Boys and drive away happy.
Now at Pep Boys, lifetime warranty air conditioning compressors as low as $58.88.
Come to Pep Boys and drive away happy.
Now at Pep Boys, air conditioning system check for only $19.99.
Come to Pep Boys and drive away happy.
Really? Can you believe that's the same girl who was just in the hospital for depression?
No.
In a few.
You know, I never thought I'd miss all the noise she makes.
I'm going to Barb's. Bye, Mom. Bye, Dad.
Goodbye, hon. Hey. It's good to have my little girl back again.
Oh, Dad. Bye, honey.
It gets better. It really does. A teenager who's depressed really can learn to laugh again. But only you can ask for help. Please call River Oaks Hospital today.
Coming up on News 8 at 10, we'll tell you what Louisiana Attorney General Richard Ayub plans to do now that Governor Edwards says he won't seek re-election. Plus, we'll show you a whole new meaning to the phrase, take the car. A look at a unique vehicle at 10. Margaret?
If you're a boat buff or a history buff, you may want to take a trip to the Esplanade Mall this week. The mall is hosting a special miniature exhibit of the Cotton Blossom showboat and a river town. The boat is built 1 inch to 1 foot scale, and it took 3 years to build this. It will be on display at the mall through Sunday.
3 years. Can you imagine the patience that
Looks
took?
absolutely real, doesn't it? When you don't have anything to scale by. Well, thanks for joining us for News 8 at 6.
We'll be back at 10 right after NYPD Blue. Cops is next on WVUE. Have a good night, everybody.
Introducing the new supercharged Toyota Previa SC. Oh, the sacrifices we make for our children.
The Earth is in a race with global warming, and the Earth is losing. We have the power to fight global warming by demanding more fuel-efficient cars. Contact the Sierra Club.
I'm attorney Michael Hingle, 1-800-USA-JURY. Let's face it, stuff happens. Before you accept a quick check with me.
It's a day when local businesses and schools come together through the Partnerships in Education program. A day when Amoco employees arrive at McDonough 35 to visit and advise students. A day when everyone realizes we can all learn a lot from each other. Be a partner with the New Orleans Public School. Make the call today.
For Bob Breck's Weather View, call 260-8888.
Bad boys, what you want, what you gonna do when Chevy John Brown come for you? Hey, search warrant! Tell me what you gonna do, Yeah, bad boys, what you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do when they come for you? Nobody now give you no break. Police now give you no break. Not the old soldier man I give you no break. Not even your ice now give you no break. Hey, bad boys, what you gonna do? Or what you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, or what you gonna do? Or what you gonna do when they come for you?
Cops is filmed on location as it happens. All suspects are considered innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
Hey, here's a deal that's gonna knock the competition right out of the picture. How does low 2.9% financing or $750 cash back on a new Ford F-150 grab ya? Hey, this is one great deal, but only for a limited time. And this F-150's got a driver's side airbag. This Chevy doesn't. But you've got to hurry. Low 2.9 financing or $750 cash back in your pocket ends July 5th. Hurry. See your local Southern Quality Ford dealer today.
When a doctor seduces a patient,
it was the equivalent of mental rape.
Will the law be her revenge?
This is a mistake. You made it.
Picket Fences, special night, Thursday.
This is Don Westbrook with morning weather tomorrow on Channel 4.
When a low price gets
5 pounds of Dixie Crystal's granulated sugar at the unbeatable hot price of $1.29 with super coupon.
Nobody's gonna beat us now.
I just don't have time to shop anymore. So I just make a phone call and Joan Rivers, surprise, delivers?
Can We Shop with Joan Rivers tonight on WWL-TV Channel 4.
Good evening and welcome to this evening's Louisiana Lottery Show featuring tonight's lucky Pick 3 numbers. The largest amount won on Pick 3 in one night was $192,000 on May 18th, 1994. Congratulations to Creasy Ross of Marion, who won $500 playing Pick 3. And here are tonight's lucky Pick 3 numbers. All drawings are witnessed by legislative auditors. Thanks, and I hope you got lucky tonight.
The product was invented over 200 years ago, but a local doctor improved the service with his new concept in eye care.
Watching people wait, and keep looking at their watch has bothered me a great deal.
In 1964, Dr. Greenberg introduced Vision Plaza and became one of the first optometrists to offer services in a mall. Today, his in-house labs fill prescriptions in just 1 hour. We're Louisiana-made, Louisiana-proud at Vision Plaza and WWL-TV Channel 4.
San Antonio, it's a million laughs, a sea of smiles in San Antonio's priceless style. San Antonio, priceless vacation is priceless.
Save on hotels, Southwest Airlines, magic memories at SeaWorld, never-ending fun at Fiesta, Texas, and lots more.
Magic, the memories, the brand new friends. San Antonio.
For vacation discounts, call 1-800-THE-ALAMO.
Noma gives you a new view. It's a whole new way to see our most treasured words. A whole new way of looking at life in Louisiana. A whole new space to view special exhibits. It's the new New Orleans Museum of Art. And it's just one way we're building a better Louisiana at Noma and WWL-TV Channel 4. WWL-TV, Channel 4, New Orleans. John Snell, Hoda Kotb, Jem Henderson, and meteorologist Nancy Russo. This is Louisiana's news leader, Channel 4's Eyewitness News Night Watch.
The company hired to care for a 14-year-old who died 2 weeks ago is the one the state turns to the most for help.
President Clinton wraps up his trip to France with an elegant evening in Paris.
And we'll remember one of New Orleans' jazz legends.
Good evening. 2 weeks after a New Orleans teenager died in a foster home, there seem to be more questions than answers.
Records show that the service hired to watch the 14-year-old is paid more than any other company of its kind in the state. Mike Longman reports.
The death of Jerome Harris raises major questions about the way Louisiana cares for kids with behavioral problems. Or more to the point, just who the state hires to do that job for them.
I have no comments to make.
Can I talk to you for just a second?
No comment.
We tried to talk to Willie Theriault, the 300-pound sitter who said he had to forcibly restrain Jerome Harris by sitting on him for 10 minutes. Theriault would not talk to us. Willie Theriault worked for Care Intervention Services, a company run by Rosemary McCormick. State records show the state hires Care and McCormick more than any other sitter or sitter service in the state. In fact, the records show McCormick was paid 70% of all the money Louisiana spent in the four-parish area in 1993 for sitter services, and just over half the money the state spent last year statewide to hire sitters. McCormick is on record charging the state $16 an hour for sitters, but she does not disclose what she pays her sitters. That's what we wanted to ask Willie Theriault. How much does the state watch over the money it spends? Brenda Kelly is on record saying, "I'm advised there are no standards for sitter services. The Office of Community Services uses local sitter services and evaluates the continuing use of a provider based on performance and history on individual cases over time." The state clearly was not watching over Rosemary McCormick when she hired Willie Theriault, because he was already written up 4 times this year for incidents at a local foster home. The foster home reportedly asked him to resign back in April. That was just 1 month before McCormick hired Theriault to watch over Jerome Harris in Kenner. Mike Longman, Eyewitness News, Night Watch.
New Orleans police are trying to track down two men in the city's latest murder. An unidentified man was found dead in the 1900 block of Lafreniere Street. He'd been shot several times. Police say the suspects were seen driving a gray four-door sedan, possibly a Ford.
Police are also looking into a deadly traffic accident. A 24-year-old New Orleans man was killed when his motorcycle hit a car at the corner of Dale and Ransom Streets. The victim's name has not been released. No charges have been filed against the driver of the car.
President Clinton and the First Lady are wrapping up their trip to Paris. They attended an official dinner tonight hosted by French President Francois Mitterrand. Earlier, Mr. Clinton addressed the French Parliament and called for a stronger, more cohesive Europe to stop violence and prejudice.
Governors in 5 states are after their party's nominations in primary elections. Voters in Alabama, California, Iowa, New Mexico, and South Dakota cast ballots in gubernatorial primaries. Among those in the running are former actor Fred Grandy from The Love Boat, who is trying to become Iowa's governor. He's already a U.S. congressman. And in California, former Governor Jerry Brown's sister Kathleen is trying to carry on the family tradition.
Governor Edwards spent the day answering questions about why he's decided not to run for re-election. Edwards laughed off a rumor that he's quitting politics because his wife Candy's expecting.
No, by the time the child was in the 1st grade, I'd be in a nursing home. That's not in the plans. Thank you very much.
The governor would not say why he made the decision.
The music world lost one of the greats today. Jazz legend Willie Humphrey died of a heart attack. He was 93. In those 93 years, he and his clarinet entertained thousands of people here in New Orleans and around the world. Willie Humphrey spent his lifetime making music, 80 years on the clarinet. He played for the last time last Friday at Preservation Hall.
They lost a pioneer, a patriarch, somebody who led, who brought jazz into its being, jazz music into its being.
When Willie Humphrey died, the music world lost a legend. Terrence Humphrey lost his father. Now Terrence holds on to what his father loved the most.
To make sure, as he put it, if he could hit the high notes. And that's what he said he was hired to do, hit the high notes, and he always got them.
He got them during his tours around the world and at Preservation Hall and everywhere else he played. He wanted young musicians to follow his lead.
Encourage them to do their best and try to strive for the high note.
Preservation Hall tonight, John Bernius is hitting the high note. He and his band are playing in the same spot where Willie Humphrey and his band used to play.
Mr. Humphrey left an impression that no New Orleans musician can really forget. He was a master musician. He, of course, he helped to give us this music, but he left a mark that anyone who's ever heard him play, I don't think they will ever forget it.
Humphrey the Music Man is also a family man with kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids. He also leaves behind his other musical half, 83-year-old Percy Humphrey, the trumpet player, and his brother. Somehow you just know that Willie Humphrey is proud of what he's left behind, and that somewhere out there he is still hitting the high notes.
You know how much they wanted at Save a Center for this one thing of Florida Gold orange juice? 91 cents more than the real Superstore. 91 cents more. And last week, Save a Center also wanted 79 cents more than Superstore for this Jif. I know, Save a Center is just trying to get their money back for having all those advertised specials, but 91 cents more for one can of orange juice? Come on.
Here at my house, it's big news when my sister and I agree on anything, like new Jenny-O Natural Choice Turkey, my discovery. We love the Natural Choice line because there are no artificial ingredients or hormones. We don't want our kids eating anything weird. They're weird enough already. Natural Choice comes out moist and tender every time, even at her house. You know, the more natural we can make our lives, the better we like it.
So then what's with this hair color?
The new Genio Natural Choice Turkey line. A change for the better.
Julio Iglesias is in the hospital. General Hospital, that is. That's right. He's making his acting debut in the daytime dramas. And on the next Entertainment Tonight, you'll get an exclusive sneak peek.
This is what I love about General Hospital. They always cure you.
Then she says she was Elvis's lover. Now she's telling all.
The first time I stood in here, I think my knees were shaking.
And has Keanu Reeves become the sexiest man alive? See for yourself on Entertainment Tonight.
Tonight at 10:35 on Channel 4.
Guess who's having the best little one-day sale in New Orleans tomorrow? It's the store that brings you the best values every day and dynamite values tomorrow. It's Krause, of course. Canal at Basin. Tomorrow, one day only.
Look, listen, and live.
The Orleans Levee Board wants to build 2 islands in Lake Pontchartrain. The board has filed for permits with state and federal agencies. One island would actually purify drinking water from the city by filtering it through man-made wetlands. The other island would have beaches and concession stands. The Lake Pontchartrain Basin Foundation is against the plan. It says it would actually pollute the lake. The Levee Board hopes to begin work on the project in early '96.
The Justice Department is looking into whether Grand Isle shrimp prices have been fixed. Shrimpers have been complaining that prices for their catches are far too low. Mayor Andy Vallant says he wants the feds to get to the bottom of the issue.
The reason for the low price is not apparent to us at all. The system had not gone through to the extent where the price would have dropped to that much, to that little. So it's a matter of just trying to make things fair for our people.
Vallant says he expects to hear from the Justice Department in about 2 weeks on the results of its investigation.
Colombian authorities have found several people who survived an avalanche started by an earthquake. There are still several dozen people missing. At least 100 people were killed when a wall of ice, mud, and rocks slammed into a village in southwestern Colombia. The earthquake measured 6.4 on the Richter scale, the strongest in Colombia in nearly 40 years.
The U.S. is moving ahead to place sanctions against the government of North Korea. The U.S. is leading a United Nations effort to force the North Koreans to let inspectors look at a nuclear reactor. Inspectors want to know if plutonium is being used to build atom bombs.
Americans were using their plastic a lot in April. The Federal Reserve says consumer credit soared nearly $9 billion during the month, about half that because of credit card borrowing. It was the biggest jump in consumer credit in more than 9 years.
A new study supports the claim that breathing somebody else's cigarette smoke is bad for you. Nanette Hansen has results of the largest study ever done.
Cold, sore throats, aching sinuses.
Sally Wilcox is describing the ailment she suffered by breathing other people's cigarette smoke. She and fellow waitress Justine Halliday are joining a growing effort to ban smoking in all public workplaces in New York City.
Smokers are inhaling the smoke through a filter. Secondhand smoke is going directly from the air into your lungs without a filter.
How dangerous is passive smoke to non-smoking women? Vary, according to an American Medical Association report. It finds if you're a woman who lives with a smoker, your increased risk of developing lung cancer is 24%. If you work in a smoke-filled environment, it's 39%. And smoke exposure in social settings raises the risk to 50%.
According to the study, the greater the exposure, the greater the risk, especially if the women were exposed to household cigarette smoke beginning in their childhood.
The tobacco industry says that's just bad science.
The fact of the matter is, this study does not demonstrate any statistically significant increase in risk, and neither have a dozen studies before it.
In the face of this latest attack, the R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company will launch this full-page advertisement in newspapers nationwide Wednesday, rebutting allegations they spike their cigarettes with excess nicotine. As for the smoking and non-smoking consumer, they're left to watch the debate ignite and wonder about the potential health risks linked to secondhand smoke. Nanette Hansen, CBS News, New York.
Ahead in sports, the first-place Zephyrs take on the Cubs.
And Willie McGee of the Giants keeps his head in the game, perhaps too much. Jim will have details up next.
Now at Pep Boys, lifetime warranty air conditioning compressors as low as $58.88.
Come to Pep Boys and drive away happy.
Now at Pep Boys, air conditioning system check for only $19.99.
Come to Pep Boys and drive away happy.
Now at Pep Boys, $5 rebate on Gabriel Pro Rider shocks. Struts, $10 rebate.
Come to Pep Boys and drive away happy.
Elmwood Fitness Center is taking it downtown with our incredible new facility in the heart of the CBD. And to celebrate, we're kicking things off with a double good deal. 2 clubs for the price of 1, 2 memberships for the price of 1, both with our all-time low $50 initiation fee. That's just $25 a piece. Plus, you get all the Elmwood Fitness Center has to offer at both locations. The 2-for-2 deal. 2 clubs, 2 memberships, 1 low price. 2 for 2. Only for a limited time, only from the Elmwood Fitness Center.
Ladies, here's your chance to spend the evening with Jim Mora. Register to win tickets to the official Saints Minicamp for Women. Winners will take a behind-the-scenes look at the Saints plans for 1994. 100 names will be drawn to receive 2 tickets, but remember, it's for women only. Just send your entry to Saints Minicamp for Women, Box 57869, New Orleans 70112. Deadline for entries is June 8th. So spend the evening with Jim Mora at the Saints Minicamp for Women.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens.
The 1995 Mitsubishi Galant, filled with thoughtful details.
These are a few of my favorite things.
Lease a new Galant S for just $1,250 down and $199 a month for 36 months.
These are a few of my favorite things.
The affordable Galant S lease, perhaps the most favorite thing of all.
There's a new book out called The Best Editorial Cartoons of the Year. We'll meet 2 of the award-winning cartoonists, Michael Ramirez and Dick Locker. Join us Wednesday morning.
Here are some other stories making news. The federal government says a tugboat captain is to blame for last year's collapse of the Judge Seaver Bridge. The National Transportation Safety Board says the pilot's poor judgment in leaving the wheelhouse probably caused the accident. A pregnant woman died, 2 other people were hurt.
The Louisiana Association of Educators is sponsoring a bill in the legislature which would require parents to meet with teachers if their kids get into trouble at school. The bill would let parents miss work without losing any pay.
A new study says drinking on college campuses is getting out of hand. Columbia University reports 30% of the female students they studied drank with the intent of getting drunk, compared to 10% 15 years ago.
And the Top Rank of Louisiana group filed an official application with the NBA today to buy the Minnesota Timberwolves. The deal would buy the team and move it to New Orleans for the 94-95 season.
I still get a sense of that's just too good to be true. Believe it when we see it, but they say it'll happen.
That's what everybody's saying. They're very confident.
All right. Zephyrs are on a roll.
Yes, they are, and they'll remain in first place tonight. John, the Zephyrs jumped out to an early lead and then tried to hang on against Iowa tonight. The Zephyrs enjoyed a 4-run second to open the scoring. Greg Smith lifts this double to center as Jimmy Kremers will come home, and that will make it 2-0. Jeff Cirillo's on a hot streak. He'd have a homer tonight, and he will follow with another shot to center. That'll chase Smith home with another run, and it's 3-0 Zephyrs. A Troy O'Leary single will cap the scoring, and this time it will be Cirillo's turn to come around. The Z's score 4 runs on 5 hits in the frame. It was 5-0 going to the top of the 4th when the Cubs put a 3 spot on the board. Mike Carter, the former Zephyr singles. Now, it looks like Tommy Shields will score, but he rounds third. What's he looking at? Well, he shouldn't have looked, because that was all that they needed for the score of the relay to beat him at home plate. He's nipped at the plate. He's out. The Zephyrs go on to win it by a score of 8-4. As I said, Cirillo homering for the 2nd straight night in that victory. In Atlanta, the Braves looking to rebound from a rare loss to the struggling Padres. Fred McGriff getting them off to a good start. The former Padres slammed a 3-run shot in the 4th to put the Braves up 3-1. They cruised home from there and winning by a score of 12-3. Ramon Martinez threw a 3-hitter at the Marlins as the Dodgers shut them out. The Expos have won 6 in a row in defeating the Astros. The Cubs have suffered 8 straight losses. The Phillies beat them tonight. The Giants nipped the Pirates 3-2, but it was a costly victory. The Giants lost Willie McGee to an undetermined injury in the 6th. He slams into the wall trying to glove Orlando Merced's triple. McGee, as you can see, coming down awkwardly on his right leg. He was carried from the field. No word yet on what X-rays revealed, but it sure doesn't look good, does it? In Texas, the Rangers hope to avenge last night's drubbing. In fact, we'll get to that in a second. The Reds were winners tonight over the Cardinals by a score of 5-0. And in the 7th, the Mets and Rockies are tied at 3. As I was saying, in Texas, the Rangers hope to avenge last night's drubbing by the Yankees with a drubbing of their own. Jose Canseco helped send them in that direction with a solo homer in the 1st. It was his 16th of the year, and that helped propel Texas to an 8-6 lead over the Yankees. And that's the way it stands in the 7th. The Red Sox defeated the Tigers 5-1. In the 8th, the Royals lead the Orioles 7-2. In the 9th, it's Toronto 9 and Chicago 4. In the 3rd, California 3 and Minnesota 1. Also in the 3rd, Oakland 5, Milwaukee 0. And in the 4th, it's Cleveland 4 and Seattle 0. In the College World Series, Arizona State whipped Miami. Now, Arizona State has the coach Jim Brock. You might have seen the reports about him. He's battling cancer. He went back in the hospital tonight, but Arizona State continues to win without him. That's quite a story going on there in Omaha. And Cal State Fullerton eliminated Florida State with a 10-3 win. No deal, no story. That's the response to Sports Illustrated, saying in this week's issue that Mike Tyson is negotiating to be released early from prison, possibly next week. Attorneys for both Tyson and his rape victim, Desiree Washington, deny that any deal's been made. Tyson is scheduled to appear on Monday for a sentence reduction hearing. He's not due to get out of prison until May of 1995. The Portland Trail Blazers are one of the clubs searching for a head coach, and they're looking in the direction of Minnesota. The Blazers contacted University of Minnesota coach Clem Haskins about the job. Haskins has been with the Golden Gophers for the past 8 seasons. The San Francisco 49ers think they found the pass rusher up front on their defensive line that they've been searching for since the defection of Pierce Holt to the Atlanta Falcons. The Niners have reached an agreement in principle with former Chicago Bear defensive end Richard Dent. The free agent, who played for the Bears for 11 years, reportedly got a 2-year pact for $3 million. And in the Stanley Cup Finals after 2, the Rangers and the Canucks tied at 2, and the Rangers lead that series 2-1.
$3 million is not bad when it's in the twilight of your career.
I would take that in the twilight. I'd take that any time in my career. Maybe over the entire length and breadth of it, I would take that. That'd be fine.
All right, Jim, thanks.
Just negotiating right here in public.
Not a bad idea.
All right, today was the hottest day of the year so far.
And just think what we have to look forward to is Nancy's point as she's along to let us know if the trend will continue.
Hey, here's a deal that's gonna knock the competition right out of the picture. How does low 2.9% financing or $750 cash back on a new Ford F-150 grab ya? Hey, this is one great deal, but only for a limited time. And this F-150's got a driver's side airbag. The Chevy doesn't. But you've got to hurry. Low 2.9 financing or $750 cash back in your pocket ends July 5th. Hurry. See your local Southern Quality Ford dealer today.
It's only a fraction of an inch, but it shapes your world. Your lens is the heart of your eyewear. And right now, all lenses are 50% off at Vision Plaza. Adapt our line-free progressive lenses, transitions and photogray lenses, Siler Super Shield lenses, and lightweights. Light as a feather, strong as steel. Choose any frame at regular price and select your lens for 50% off. Look to Vision Plaza at 12 convenient locations and save 50% on lenses, the heart of your eyewear.
Hi, Robin. How are you today?
Just fine. Jim, how are you doing?
When a customer gets a new prescription, there's a lot for them to remember, like possible side effects, interactions, and proper use.
In a new medication, the
To help them remember, I give them their own personal EckertRx advisor for each prescription. It gives them all those facts and more. With the EckertRx advisor, my customers can go home with the information they need on every prescription, and that makes me feel better.
To an Eckert pharmacist, nothing's more important than your health.
Bye-bye. It was nice seeing you.
Well, every once in a while, a guy will come up to me and he'll go, "Hey, George, guarantee this." I guarantee it is a commitment. It's my personal commitment that we will give you the best service possible and the best everyday low prices.
Spend a jazzy night in June with special guest Melba Moore. The dinner dance and show will be held in the Grand Ballroom of the Marriott Hotel on June 10th. All proceeds will benefit the LaFon Methodist Home. For more information, call 288-8942.
I knew this before I even came to work, that today was the hottest one. You could feel it out there.
It was miserable, and this time of year, it's one thing or the other.
Yeah.
So we've either got to have the rain or we've got to have the heat. I guess we'll have the heat for a little while. I don't think we have too much choice about that. Today was a hot one. It was the hottest day of the year, 94 degrees today at Audubon Park. Let's check out some other high temperatures around the area. It was also 94 degrees in Houma, 92 from Donaldsonville through Baton Rouge, Kentwood, Macomb, also in Belle Chase. The cool spot right on the water, Biloxi, reported 88 degrees. Now, this time of year, we also talk about something called the heat index. You know, during the winter, we talk about the wind chill factor, which is a combination of the wind and the temperature, how it actually feels on exposed skin. Well, during the summertime, we talk about the temperature. You see those up here, and the humidity, the combination of those, and you get the numbers to your right. The yellow is the caution area, the red is the danger zone. Now, today we had temperatures between 90 and 94 degrees. That in combination with humidity over 50%, and that put us right in this area between 96 for much of the day up to 105. So that is pretty close to the danger zone. It just means that you have to drink some extra fluids and make sure you really try not to exert yourself toward that middle part of the day, the hottest part of the day. We'll be talking more about that as the summer wears on. Now, today in our satellite view, all of the thunderstorms, at least most of them, did shift to our east as we had expected. We had a few scattered showers and thunderstorms around our immediate area, but most spots today were dry. However, on the North Shore, Folsom had almost an inch of rain. I think the next couple of days will be dry too, and that means the heat is going to continue. Let's see how we're doing around the area tonight. It is a warm one. It feels a lot like summer. Clear skies are now reported at the airport, and 81 degrees is reported at the airport, Audubon, and also in Slidell. The humidity's high, the wind is blowing out of the south at 6 miles per hour, and the barometer is now steady. Now, as we take a look at what's going on across the country, we've got a typical summertime pattern going on. We have high pressure that is now located just off the southeast coast. That keeps the south and southeast wind across our area, so the heat pump and the humidity pump will continue. Tomorrow afternoon's forecast map shows all of the fronts staying well to our north. We're going to have a lot of sunshine around here. Prepare to bake. Here's my forecast for tonight. It'll be partly cloudy, warm and humid. Low temperatures tonight will be in the 70s. During the day tomorrow, I think we're going to have a lot of sunshine out there, and that means it's going to be a hot one. Temperatures in most spots will be in the 90s. It looks like temperatures right along the coast will be a little bit cooler. Temperatures there will be in the 80s. Here's that extended forecast. Only about a 20% chance of rain into the weekend. Temperatures every day in the 90s. So I guess we'll be spending most of the week inside.
Consistency, though. Yeah, that is.
Up next, a real-life version of the Free Willy story.
That story and more in tonight's news shorts.
I have 3 boys and 1 girl, and they think it's great. Mommy works at Walmart. I've always loved working here at Walmart. I feel that being involved with the community so much teaches our children that we're all here to make life good for everybody. Walmart, I think, tries to strive for that family unity and that family values. They really care about the family.
Circle K and Domino's Pizza invite you to enjoy every minute of the Pepsi-Cola Super Fair, going on right now through June 12th in the Superdome. More than 50 rides, games, and attractions.
Ride all the rides as many times as you like for just $10.
But wait, Monday through Thursday, you can save $2 with any Pepsi can or discount coupon available from Domino's Pizza or any Circle K location. Doors open 4 p.m. till midnight Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to midnight Saturday and Sunday. And it's going on right now in the Superdome. Don't miss it.
San Antonio, it's a million laughs, a sea of smiles in San Antonio's priceless style. San Antonio, priceless vacation is priceless.
Save on
on hotels, Southwest Airlines, magic memories at SeaWorld, never-ending fun at Fiesta, Texas, and lots more.
Magic, the memories, the brand new friends. San Antonio.
For vacation discounts, call 1-800-THE-ALAMO.
Now you can check out Hunger in Louisiana. Just look for the donation slips at the checkout counter. Check in your dollars with a special UPC code and help Second Harvesters Food Bank check out Hunger. Every dollar you give will feed a family of 4. Please look for the special donation slips at these checkout counters. Take time to check it out because we can check out Hunger now.
It's been said that truth is stranger than fiction.
And again, sometimes truth is just like fiction. We're reminded of that in tonight's edition of News Shorts.
You may remember the movie Free Willy, about a boy's efforts to free a captured killer whale. The movie, of course, starred a real-life orca named Keiko. Now some animal rights activists want Keiko freed from the marine park where he's been held in Mexico City. The two sides disagree on what's best for Keiko.
It's a very romantic illusion, but the real thing is that if we release Keiko, we can lose Keiko, and Keiko could die.
Captive killer whales have a premature death. He, at best, has got another 10 years in captivity. In the wild, it would be 35 years.
Keiko's owners point out killer whales have never successfully been released to the wild.
As she arrived in Glasgow, Scotland, Vicky Van Meter became the youngest person ever to fly across the Atlantic. She took off Sunday from Maine and made stops in Newfoundland, Greenland, and Iceland. Her flight instructor went along for the ride, but says 12-year-old Vicky was at the controls the entire time.
I really didn't care about a record or anything like that. I liked the challenge of flying across the oceans.
Vicky took roughly the same flight path as Amelia Earhart in her 1932 solo flight across the Atlantic.
Finally, Paul McWilliams is not only a huge baseball fan, he's also a romantic. So he took his girlfriend Robin Nance out to the Cardinals game the other night in St. Louis. Not exactly a romantic evening, you say? Well, consider that Paul proposed right there in front of, 30,000 people or so. By the way, Robin did say yes.
Which is a good thing, because it'd be awfully embarrassing to go through all that.
You had to say
yes.
yes.
The answer is no. That's the news. Thanks for watching.
Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
For over 30 years, AMCO Transmission certified specialists have repaired millions of transmissions. From cars to light trucks, vans, RVs, and imports. We even supply free towing when you need it most. AMCO technicians are trained in the latest equipment to check not only the transmission, but also the car's computer system with our multi-check diagnostic system. AMCO honors most new and used car extended warranties, and with hundreds of AMCO locations nationwide, you're protected. Think you might have a problem? Call one of our nearby locations. We'll check it out. AMCO, AAMCO.
They mate once, and she's pregnant for life. In a year, one female roach can produce 400,000 descendants. So we came up with this advanced formula for Combat Superbait insecticide. It destroys adult roaches and eggs, breaking the life cycle. That's effective roach control. We guarantee it. And if you need us, just call. We have to be around roaches. You don't.
Combat Superbait, the science of killing roaches.
As horse-drawn buggies gave way to the automobile, one company looked to the future and opened its very first filling station right here in New Orleans. The company was Texaco, and their newfangled curbside business sold petroleum products pumped by wildcatters from Louisiana wells. Now, in the deep waters of the Gulf, a mighty fleet of platforms stands anchored, reflecting Texaco's contributions to the development of offshore drilling. Just up the road in Convent, the Star Enterprise plant helps keep Louisiana's production at a steady pace by refining nearly 2 billion gallons of gasoline each year. Texaco's 3,000 employees are also quietly working for our community through programs ranging from citywide tree plantings to wetland preservation projects. We're Louisiana-made, Louisiana proud. At Texaco and WWL-TV Channel 4. Join Alex Trebek for Jeopardy! Weekdays on Channel 4.
Recently in an editorial, this station endorsed the curfew announced by Mayor Morial to keep young people off the street at night. Here today with a reply is a member of the Libertarian Party, Mr. Jeffrey Bycat.
A curfew for minors sounds fine until you encounter a 15-year-old who after school works for 8 hours in a non-food service business and can't find a place to eat at night. Or you meet an adult who, disguised as a teenager, is demanded identification, only to find that his wallet has been stolen by a pickpocket. You think this can't happen? Check your premises. From 1969 to 73, I, as a blind person, was confined in my house in Thibodaux, Louisiana by a policeman who accused me of being lost in a shopping center. Yes, I know what curfews can do from personal experience. Instead of securing individual rights of law-abiding citizens, they confine those citizens in straitjackets and allow criminals to continue their activities in disguise, even in disguise as older persons. Good evening.
This has been a reply to a WWL-TV editorial.
I'm all shook up.
The first time I stood in here, I think my knees were shaking.
You can bet her heart was pounding, too. She was upstairs in the boudoir with Elvis. Don Johnson, prognosis for rehab, prognosis for marriage. More lurid details as Bob Barker heads for court. Entertainment Tonight is airborne for Tuesday, June 7th, 1994.
You are back, Dad.
Yeah, I feel different. I have infinitely more respect. I had a lot of respect before, but even more respect for you and women of your kind for watching what my wife went through.
Well,
it's an amazing thing.
That is great to hear, but I'm so excited. We have to get on to our first stories because in just a few minutes, we get to see Prima on tape.
I brought some pictures.
It's great to have you back.
Thanks. Great to be back.
Dad. To the rest of the world, he was the king, but to her, he was a shining prince. It's the story of a fairy tale romance with Elvis. It was a quarter of a century ago, but Joyce Bova's knees still knock when she thinks about the romance, and Entertainment Tonight has the exclusive.
I was completely shocked at how absolutely gorgeous he was.
Joyce Bova is remembering the night she first met Elvis. Waiting to see him perform in Las Vegas, she was taken backstage to meet him. She says it happened just like that on a hot August night in 1969.
And then he kissed me goodbye. And I thought, well, okay, this is fabulous.
25 summers later, Joyce is telling her story of the 3-year romance she says followed that night. Back then, as now, Joyce worked on the staff of the House Armed Services Committee. Elvis, she says, would come and visit her.
As a matter of fact, the first time we stayed together was here in this hotel. It's Suite 506.
Does your memory stray to a bright summer day when I kissed you and called you sweetheart?
This is the bedroom, and of course, the bed. The first time I stood in here, I think my knees were shaking.
I'm in love. I'm all shook up.
When you care for someone so much, the lovemaking is that much more intense. It doesn't have to be wild. It doesn't have to be crazy. It's just tender. It's passionate, and that's what I had with him.
2 years into the romance, Joyce says she found herself pregnant, but Elvis would never know.
Later on Nightside, simply a cigarette or the equivalent of a syringe for nicotine. Is tobacco about to be regulated as a drug? Find out on NBC Nightside.
Have you ever created or invented a product? Don't just let it sit there. Do something about it. You can start by calling the Inventors Helpline in Washington, D.C. at 800-541-INFO. You'll receive free confidential forms and useful information describing the invention process. And when you call right now, you'll also receive a free brochure which tells you how to begin to develop your new idea. So get the ball rolling. Pick up your phone right now and call for your free Inventor's Kit.
Call 800-541-INFO.
He comes across as the type of guy I grew up with.
I love him. He's a very nice person.
How are you?
Huh?
It's why he treats everybody like a friend.
I think this is good.
It's why co-workers feel like family. That's the key to the show. You've got every element. And speaking of family...
Maury, your daughter Amy's on the line?
Father of the bride, I'm here to serve.
He's more than a talk show host. Maury's good people.
Weekdays at 9, only on Channel 6. You're watching Channel 6, WDSU-TV New Orleans.
Following is a paid advertisement for the Carlton Sheets program brought to you by American Marketing Systems.
I had a ridiculously low income, had horrendous credit rating, and I did it.
It beats a lot of work in 9 to 5 every day.
Anyone can do it. I did it. And I'm not the smartest guy in the world.
It's hard to beat. I mean, where can you go do that? It's impossible.
I just looked at my wife and I said, this is too easy, honey. How come everyone's not doing this?
You're about to hear some incredible stories from some ordinary individuals. Everything they're saying is completely true and supported by signed affidavits. The person they're all talking about is Carlton Sheets. He has skyrocketed to fame using a unique system of building great wealth, starting with nothing. His story has appeared in many newspaper and magazine articles, and he, along with his students, have been featured guests on numerous talk shows. He has personally bought and sold over $20 million worth of real estate, and over the past 15 years is credited with teaching his techniques to almost 500,000 people, many of whom have gone on to achieve enormous fortunes. Stay tuned to hear his story straight from the man himself and find out just what these people are doing so they too can live the good life. Most important, you'll see how you can do it too.
I never in my wildest dreams thought I would own 2 homes. My parents only owned 1 home at a time, and they, struggled to even get that first house. And here we are, I think we own nine houses. After the first one, it was a piece of cake.
Hi, I'm Carlton Sheets, and let me ask you a couple of questions. How would you like to pay off all your debts and have an extra $10,000 to $15,000 of extra spendable cash coming in every month? How would you like to drive a new car every year and be able to take exotic vacations? Send your kids to the best schools and just not have to worry about your financial future. Well, I've shown thousands of people how to do these things, and I can show you too. It's not complicated. In fact, it's simple, and you don't need any money or good credit to begin. Listen carefully, because what you'll learn in the next 20 minutes can definitely make you wealthy and change your life forever.
You have shown us how we can make money, put it directly in our pocket.
We're up to $160,000 net worth, and all of that really occurred in about an 8-month period.
My first purchase, I made $52,000.
I have about $410,000 in net worth, and I bring in $13,900 a month.
As of this day, we're a little over $250,000 for our net worth.
Now, after 2 years, it's close to $400,000.
My net worth today is approximately $380,000.
I'm a little over $2 million net.
I've made a lot of money by investing in real estate. You've seen me on TV for over 9 years telling people how to do it. Now, one of the ways we do it is by buying the right property at bargain prices so you can make instant profits. I've put all of my knowledge and experience into an easy-to-follow system, and now over 300,000 people own it. You'll hear from some of these people today. What did your family and friends say when you ordered my course?
We didn't tell them. We figured that they would be as skeptical as we were listening to the program, so we just didn't tell anybody.
No.
Not until we got our first check for $46,000 when we closed a house. Then we told everybody.
What did they say then?
How'd you do that?
You've seen my students making hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars. But I know what you're thinking. Will it work for me? Well, I wanted to prove my course could help anyone buy real estate and begin making money immediately. So I did something that no one has ever done. I agreed to a series of public challenges. Watch Art Fleming's nicely syndicated clip, which shows how anyone, and I mean anyone with no real estate knowledge at all, can start making money for themselves almost immediately.
In an effort to prove that his no down payment system of investing would work for anyone who was willing to apply the principles, Carlton Sheets agreed to what has come to be known as the Chicago Sun-Times Challenges. Carlton Sheets could provide no personal instruction. Rather, 3 individuals studied the course manual, the cassette tapes, and the same other materials provided to regular purchasers of the home study course. The results, to say the least, were impressive. In less than 2 weeks, Angela Perdome became the proud owner of a duplex that will net her over $20,000 profit and over $100 per month income with no money down. Daniel Alvello used one of the techniques to buy a 3-unit building, which earned him $10,000 of instant equity, plus a $217 per month income. No money down. And Marlon Reed, an out-of-work musician, used Sheets' multiple offer concept to buy a single-family home, which made him a $23,000 profit plus $250 per month of positive income, all within 10 days of getting the course.
And most recently, Carlton Sheets consented to that same challenge in New York City, held in the New York Daily News. The results? In less than a week, using none of her own money, Doris, an immigrant from the island of St. Thomas, purchased a 4-unit building in New York City. That one building earned her an instant $50,000 profit, plus a positive cash flow of over $1,100 each month.
I have a 4-family house with a monthly rental income of $1,600. My mortgage is $442. And I mean, it's like I am taking home $1,158 every month, besides my paycheck. If I can do it, coming from St. Thomas, anybody can do it.
2 of my students, the Reverend Albert Salmon and his wife Paula, had their story appear in the Washington Post magazine. They've used my course to purchase real estate, no money down, for the homeless people in their area.
I've done this all for the homeless. I've got these houses. I got 8 houses on Cochise Street, North Charleston. For the homeless, I did it for them. We actually bought these houses across the street, had no money down, and the rent from these gentlemen actually pays for the monthly payments on this house. I think this is a good way to do it.
Mike has been very busy investing in real estate, but he's made almost $4 million. He also has a cash income of over $130,000 a year from the 45 homes and properties he owns.
Well, if I can, I think anyone can. I started out with nothing. It's been good to me. It's been a lot of fun along the way. That's the most important thing. It's not something it's like working a job that's a drudge every day. You have to get up and you have to go do it. This you can do it or you can't do it. And if one day you don't feel like you want to get out and spend time on it, you don't have to.
One of the things that I really enjoy doing is visiting my students at their home and actually seeing the success they've had using my system. I recently visited Serge in Southern California. He's made over $2 million and has a cash flow of over $100,000 a year from his properties. Serge, I'm looking around at your beautiful home, worth over $500,000. Tell me honestly, did you buy it no money down?
Yeah, this is one of the homes I bought with no money down.
Well, I guess the question that comes to mind, Serge, is can other people do what you've done?
Absolutely. If you buy the course and you apply yourself, the course is just information. The rest of it's up to you. If you really want to make a lot of money, then that's a potential that is there. You could become a millionaire. And at first I thought being a millionaire was a big deal. Well, I'm already there.
Serge, I'm just curious. You've got all of the fruits of your successes. You're driving a $100,000 automobile, living in a $500,000 home. Did you grow up with a family that had some money?
No, actually what happened is we were brought up in Watts.
In Watts?
Watts, downtown LA. And my sister and I shared a porch, and my dad worked 2 jobs, but it was rough. We were poor.
Well, Social Security won't take care of my retirement. That's the reason I'm here. I was 65 when I bought your course. But we've done well in the past 3 years. We have 15 units now.
So you've got almost $27,000 a year income, right, and equity of over $150,000.
Right.
What kind of Social Security, do you mind my asking?
Not a bit.
How much Social Security do you get every month?
Well, I get about $400.
$444.
Right. Hardly enough to pay your utilities.
That's very right. That's the reason we got into this program with you, and you've done a fantastic job for us, or we wouldn't be here.
We've been married for 45, we're going to be 46 years, and I have never seen him as content and happy. He loves it, and we're making a nice living. It's just marvelous. Very, very nice.
I'm here now with Lucio, one of my students originally from Ecuador. Tell me how you've done since you ordered my tapes, Lucio.
Well, let me tell you, I got your tapes, and thanks to those tapes, I was able to make
$60,000 cash tax-free, and I have the checks to prove it.
Wonderful. Lucio, do you mind my asking how much you make each year at your job?
Well, last year I made almost $26,000.
$26,000. So the $60,000 you made in real estate is more than twice what you make at your job.
That's right.
Gee, what a great story.
Best-selling author Linny Arden is one of America's leading experts on home businesses. She purchased Carlton Sheets' course without him knowing about it to critique it for Income Opportunities magazine.
I bought the Carlton Sheets course for myself initially because I'm always on the lookout for good business opportunities that can be run from home. I was really impressed when I got it. It fits all the parameters of what I consider to be a perfect home business. That means only a few hours a week that can be fit into your own schedule, so you have plenty of time for your own lifestyle and your own family. Yet, for those few hours a week, you can earn many times more than you're earning in a whole year now.
What do you really want out of life? What are some of the dreams that you gave up on a long time ago? For a minute, project yourself 10 to 15 years in the future and picture yourself then. Is it a happy time? Did you make the right choices, take advantage of the opportunities that presented themselves? Did you recognize the opportunities? Did you give your family all that you could have given them? Can you at least say you tried? Well, here's your chance to take action, to start getting your share of all that life has to offer. Don't wait. Pick up the phone now and order my course. I guarantee it'll change your life.
For over 9 years, you've seen ordinary people just like you using Carlton Sheets' system to dramatically improve their standard of living. You've seen renters quickly become homeowners. You've seen wage earners become millionaires. Now it's time for you to get started. Call this toll-free number to get your guaranteed money-making system, because now you'll get 3 ways to master this valuable information. First, the course manual. It's 294 pages full of checklists, charts, and illustrations. Second, the entire seminar on 7 hours of audio cassettes, so you can listen and learn on the go. And third, everything on VHS video cassette. So now it's like actually attending Carlton's $500 seminar in the privacy of your own home. But you won't pay $500 for all of this. You won't even pay half that, because the entire system is now only $159.95. Just $159.95 could buy you a lifetime of financial independence. To make your learning even easier, you also get Writing Buyer's Offers, the Legal Forms Portfolio, and Creative Tax Strategies. And you get a free 1-year subscription to Carlton Sheets' 24-hour telephone hotline advisory service. It's updated weekly, so call anytime to hear his latest secrets and strategies. Order now and you'll also receive 2 extra bonuses worth $60. First is 2 hours to your first offer, which shows you, using a simple form, how to determine what any piece of property is really worth and how much to offer to guarantee your profit. Then you get nothing down deals over the phone, where you'll hear actual telephone negotiations and analysis showing you how easy it is to buy property for no money down right over the phone. Wait, there's still more. It's Carlton Sheets' brand new Quick Start videotape program. Watch this yellow tape first, because you'll witness how he actually finds, evaluates, and buys bargain properties. It's a $39 value, yours free. With both videos now included, that's $178 just in extra bonuses. The entire course is fully accredited, qualifies for continuing education credits, and comes with his handsome diploma. It is all completely backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. In fact, if it's not everything you expected, send it back and keep the valuable Quick Start video, a $39 value, as our free gift to you. For rush delivery, use your credit card and call 1-800-428-6006, or send your check or money order to Sheets, Box 5201U, Oak Brook, Illinois 60522. No CODs, please, at this low price. Again, that's 1-800-428-6006, or send your check or money order to Sheets, Box 5201U, Oak Brook, Illinois 60522. Call 1-800-428-6006 now.
There are some tremendous benefits to being a real estate investor. First, you can literally get started with no money and no credit. I'll show you how you can walk away with cash in your pocket on your very first transaction. More money than you can make in a whole year at your job.
This is one of the checks.
Oh, and is it a big one? This is a check for $42,604.24, along with a deposit ticket. Do you mind my asking, Chris, how much you make at your job?
I make a little under $30,000 a year, but currently I'm laid off again.
I'm buying distressed properties right now, and I bought 3 in the last month with a cash profit of $36,000.
What's the biggest check you've ever received as a result of your investing?
Somewhere around 75 to 78,000. That was a real starter for us, and it just showed us that we were right. What we were doing was the right thing to do.
I'll retire with an income of $125,000 from my rentals that my wife and family and I can enjoy.
And you can get started in your spare time. Now, I'm not telling you to quit your job, just change what you do in some of your spare time.
We've been able to travel. My husband bought me a Cadillac for our anniversary, and we never ever could have gotten that had worked 60 hours a week at a regular job. We have control of our own destiny.
What a happy story.
It is. It's wonderful, and we thank you for that.
You can be your own boss and make your own hours so you can have more time to spend with your family or travel.
I can travel, and I know that there's money coming in. I don't have to be at my, my job. I'm a hairdresser, and I know that if I'm not there, there's still money coming in.
Jess, how has what you've accomplished going to change your life in the future?
Well, it's going to make it a lot better for my children. I have no problem putting them through college. If I didn't buy another piece of property, my income will go up to $52,000 with the increase in rent and with the mortgages being paid off automatically.
But now I golf about 5 times a week, and I live on the golf course now.
When my readers come to me asking how they can be better employed, I tell them, if you don't want to be underpaid, overworked, and insecure, hire yourself. That's what Carleton Sheets can do for you, teach you how to hire yourself.
Carleton Sheets students regularly keep him informed of their progress by sending letters, photos, even home videos.
Because of this course, I was able to go out and on my first investment property, generate a check for $19,195.19. That made my wife extremely happy, to say the least.
When I first started teaching people 10 years ago, the average price of a home was $53,000. Today, it's $134,000. And in 1999, which is really just around the corner, it'll be $229,000. Real estate will never again be as low as it is right now. And if you don't go out and buy a home now, you just may never be able to own one.
It's been fantastic. Our net worth, of course, has gone up to over $1 million. Our income is about $155,000 a year. That's positive cash flow.
And does that count the 13 units that you just bought last week?
That doesn't even count what we just bought. That'll add another $14,000 a year. And there's some people in this country that are living on $14,000 a year, and that's just extra income we were able to get on one purchase.
Can anyone do it?
Anybody can do it.
Anybody.
We're from a small town, and if you can do it in a small town USA, you can do it anywhere.
I felt pretty skeptical. I thought, who is this guy? But I watched all the different guys on TV about it, and I thought, this is just a big con artist, and all these guys are con artists. But you had something special. You had something of a heart, what I would call the heart of Jesus, because you were interested in building people, and that's what came across to me. And I thought, let me give this guy a try, And I sat there listening to your tapes, learning how to do this, and it was just invigorating because I thought, this is great. I could help a lot of people, not only myself, but teach others how to buy and sell houses for no money down.
But can you really buy property no money down?
Oh, absolutely. We have done it.
In all 5 of my units, I've only put down $1,500 of my own money. And that was just in 1 unit. The rest of the 4, I didn't put any money down.
Gwen is living proof that women can be very successful real estate investors. She's made over $340,000 profit, and she earns over $32,000 a year from her part-time investing.
No, I'm not an actress. No, I'm not paid to say any of this. I'm a mother of 4 with cats and dogs and live in a normal 4-bedroom house. It's so incredibly easy. If you follow the instructions, anybody can do it.
Glenn has had wonderful success using my system. Less than 2 years ago, he was a waiter earning $7,000 a year. He's now a full-time investor earning $57,000 a year cash from his real estate. And he's created almost $500,000 net worth. And he started from nothing. How's your life different now than it was, say, a couple of years ago?
Oh, it's totally different. Well, first of all, I'm my own boss, which is probably the greatest gift anybody can give you. I don't have a set schedule. I work when I want to work, and I don't have some person telling me what to do all the time. I also have money now, which is a big deal because I never had it before when waiting tables. And I pretty much have financial independence. I can take trips when I want to. I can buy pretty much what I want to. And that's a whole new thing for me.
It's a wonderful feeling, isn't it?
It sure is. It's real. I mean, the course has a money-back guarantee. If you're that skeptical, buy it, read it, and if you still don't believe it, send it back.
So, Glenn, this is where you're going to build your dream home.
Yep, this is the place. It's always been my dream, and it's just amazing to me that I'm able to do it now.
I'm so nervous right now. I'm no actor. I'm just a regular person who happened to one day catch your course on TV and saw just how easy it was. And
at this point in time, you've made over $100,000. You bought a $300,000 business, no money down.
Right. It's just amazing. We've been able to quit our regular jobs and work for ourselves. And here with your course, you give us a step-by-step way to do this.
People look at a real estate course on TV and they say, well, you know, that's a couple $100. Well, you're comparing a couple $100 to hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this course gives you the knowledge that you need to go out and get that money. I just can't thank you enough.
Oh, Steve, well, both of you are even working now. How much time do you spend as investors?
Actually, we're doing this in our spare time.
We wanted to say personally how much we appreciate you being our coach, and that was our main reason for coming down here. And we thank you very much, Carlton.
I can see it's emotional even to think back on it. You know, the results you're seeing here don't just happen to other people. You can achieve these results too. This is all you need to start making real money and dramatically improve your family's lifestyle. You can start in your spare time in just a few hours a week. You can do this anywhere in the country. You don't need good credit, and you can do it with no money down. Here's how it works. When you receive all these materials, the first thing I want you to do is to watch my Quick Start tape. It's a powerful 90 minutes. Follow the instructions I give you because it shows exactly what you'll be doing as a real estate investor. You'll see that this lifestyle is a lot of fun. It also tells you exactly how to proceed through the rest of the audio tapes and manual. And if you're a person who responds better to a live seminar, then I've got just the thing for you, because I've also put the entire seminar on this VHS video cassette so you can watch and learn my easy-to-use system. But the most valuable part of my course, according to the thousands of students I've spoken to, comes at the end. That's where I tell you how to actually get started, what to do tomorrow morning, next week, next month. Think what it would be like to be your own boss. Make your own hours. Think about how you'll feel knowing that you and your family have a secure and happy future. Get serious now and pick up the phone and order my course. And you don't take any risk because it's a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. In fact, take 30 days and listen to the whole program. If you don't think it's right for you, just send it back and I'll personally refund your purchase price.
How would you react if Hurricane Andrew directly hit your house?
Hurricane Andrew came in and just destroyed the place we were living at the time. I mean, everything was destroyed, our furniture, most of our clothing.
Well, Kevin and Candy use Carlton's course to literally pull themselves out of the wreckage and make money buying new housing.
You know, we saw this as here's a tool that's been given to us, and you know, let's use this.
The two houses we purchased, if we were to sell them as is, it would give us a profit between $5,000 and $6,000 per house. But our plans are to rehab them and sell them for a profit of between $25,000 and $30,000.
Great. If you're a renter, I'm speaking to you now. Maybe you're renting because you think you're saving for a down payment, or maybe you think you can't afford a house payment. Don't believe it, even for a second, because let me explain what's happening to you. The whole time you're saving for a down payment, at the same time real estate prices are going up, probably faster than you're saving. And the fact is you don't need a down payment. That's a whole basis for my system.
I know a lot of couples probably spend years saving to buy their first home, and we were married just a few months, and we were out of our apartment, and that's fantastic.
How many 21 and 22-year-old couples around the country own their own home? Congratulations.
There's very few. I know for a fact none of my friends do. They're renting, as a matter of fact, $25 to $50 more a month than I am owning.
We lived in a motel and said, we will never rent again. We are going to buy a house. So we lived in a motel for 60 days, closed our first house in 60 days with no money down. If I can do it, anybody can do it.
2 weeks after going through my course, Charles, who's from New York City, bought his property, no money down, and received $52,000 cash at closing on a refinance.
I needed money. I was desperate. I had to do something to make some income. Bills was piling up. I just felt lost. My first purchase, I made $52,000 at closing, and it was like one of the highlights of my life. Anyone can do it. I did it, and I'm not the smartest guy in the world. If you have any dreams, ambitions in life, you want to live a better life, buy the course.
I've made a fortune in real estate, and you can too. If you're wondering what to do, how to change and improve your situation, do what I did. Get started. The time to take control of your future is right now. Don't wait. You may take a lot of risks in your life, but ordering my course is not one of them. Pick up the telephone and call the toll-free number, and don't let anyone talk you out of it. I promise it'll change your life. You've got my word on it. But you have to start.
What have you got to lose? You've got a money-back guarantee, and all it takes is willingness to pick up that phone, make that one phone call, listen to the course, read the book,
And watch your life change.
And watch your life change.
Pick up the phone and call, and do exactly what is on the tapes.
You have absolutely nothing to lose. We had no money, no credit, and for us, this has been a whole new lifestyle.
Let's talk a moment about perhaps why you haven't ordered and gotten started. Maybe you don't believe this actually works, that these people are all paid actors. Well, let me tell you that none of these students were paid a dime for their statements. Now, not everyone buys my system to become a millionaire. Some people simply want to buy their own home or buy a bigger home. But that's the beauty of it. You decide how far you want to go. But the tools are there for you to go all the way. Now, if you don't trust what I'm saying, then trust yourself and your own good judgment and take advantage of my 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not completely satisfied, I'll buy it back from you. The truth is, this system does work, and it can work for you. All you have to do is pick up the phone and order it. It's a free call. And when you do achieve that success, and I'm confident you will, I want you to do me a favor. Keep in touch, because I'd love for you to be here with me on next year's program.
Order Carlton Sheets' easy-to-follow money-making system now. Just $159.95 could buy you a lifetime of financial independence. Here's what you get. A 294-page manual full of checklists, charts, and illustrations with 7 hours of audio cassettes. And now you'll get the entire seminar also on VHS video cassette. To make your learning even easier, you also get Writing Buyer's Offers, the Legal Forms Portfolio, and Creative Tax Strategies. And you get a free 1-year subscription to Carlton Sheets' 24-hour telephone hotline advisory service. It's updated weekly, so call anytime to hear his latest secrets and strategies. Order now and you'll also receive 2 extra bonuses worth $60. First is 2 hours to your first offer, which shows you, using a simple form, how to determine what any piece of property is really worth and how much to offer to guarantee your profit. Then you get nothing down deals over the phone, where you'll hear actual telephone negotiations and analysis showing you how easy it is to buy property for no money down right over the phone. Wait, there's still more. It's Carlton Sheets' brand new Quick Start videotape program. Watch this yellow tape first, because you'll witness how he actually finds, evaluates, and buys bargain properties. It's a $39 value, yours free. With both videos now included, that's $178 just in extra bonuses. The entire course is fully accredited, qualifies for continuing education credits, and comes with his handsome diploma. It is all completely backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. In fact, If it's not everything you expected, send it back and keep the valuable Quick Start video of $39 value as our free gift to you. For rush delivery, use your credit card and call 1-800-428-6006 or send your check or money order to Sheets, Box 5201U, Oak Brook, Illinois 60522. No CODs, please, at this low price. Again, that's 1-800-428-6006 or send your check or money order to Sheets, Box 5201U, Oak Brook, Illinois 60522. Call 1-800-428-6006 now. The preceding was a paid advertisement for the Carlton Sheets program brought to you by American Marketing Systems.
In the battle to protect your children from violent crime, you have a weapon. 1-800-WE-PREVENT. Call now. Together we will take a bite out of crime.
The following is a rebroadcast of tonight's 10 o'clock newscast from 6 WDSU.
Here are tonight's winning lottery numbers. We'll repeat the numbers later in the newscast. You're watching Channel 6, WDSU TV, New Orleans. And now, Norman Robinson, Susan Rosegen, AMS meteorologist Dan Milham with weather, and Skip Baldwin with sports. This is Channel 6 News Tonight.
This little boy's okay now. We'll tell you how he survived a fall from a third-floor window. Also, the Judge Sieber Bridge collapse shocked all of us. Tonight, we'll tell you who the government's blaming for the disaster. But first, summer's here. The mayor wants to keep kids off the streets, but the city's turned out the lights on kids who use this park. New Orleans is in the middle of a campaign to keep its children from becoming victims of crime.
But a group of kids on the West Bank feel like they're being left in the dark, and Russ Roberts is here to explain why.
Well, Susan and Norman, it's summertime, and that means lots of late afternoon and early evening events for kids. But a softball team in Algiers feels like it's getting the short end of the stick because it can only play when the sun is out.
All right, now watch the ball.
It's the hottest part of the day.
Swing. Oh, good shot. Go, baby, run.
Softball practice for these young girls would be much cooler if they could work out under the lights. Problem is, the lights don't work.
I don't ask them for much, just to get the lights on, you know, and I think that can help me a lot. I really do. Third base.
Terry Jordan is the coach, the counselor, and the fundraiser for the Fox Playground softball team.
It's just so hard. I'm doing it by myself, you know, and they know I need help.
And it's not just her team. The playground pool needs some help, too. And so does the basketball court. Citywide, some of the Nord playgrounds are getting a facelift. But $500,000 in renovation money spread so many ways doesn't last long. Mayor Morial is doing what he can to find extra money to make the park safe and livable. Nord Director Angel Wilson says many of the playgrounds are in deplorable condition. The Fox Playground is considered a high risk because of its location, so it's on a priority list to get the lights working. But with no specific timetable for the job, there's little light at the end of the tunnel for these kids at a time when hot days and long practices are about all they can look forward to.
Swing. Oh, good job. Run. Hurry up. Run.
Nord officials say it would take $2 million for a one-time fix-up of all the city's playgrounds. That's a lot of money, even though it doesn't seem like it when our city spends millions every year to entertain adults.
Yeah, casinos and all sorts of gambling activities for adults and nothing for kids.
Player's choice and what kids have, a pool and maybe a park.
No.
All right, thanks, Russ. Well, another way that we're trying to keep kids out of trouble is with a new kids' curfew. And the police are cracking down now on adults who allow the kids to be out past 9 o'clock. A West Bank store owner was arrested last night on charges of contributing to the delinquency of juveniles and breaking the curfew law. The police say the owner admits she sold beer to a 16-year-old who was caught with not only the beer, but also with a loaded pistol in his car.
If the owner allows that child to stay in that business and the police come and see that child in the business, the owner can be cited, will probably be cited for violation of the curfew ordinance by allowing that young individual to be on the premise after curfew hours.
Will they be arrested?
More than likely they will be arrested.
And Chief Ortiz says that arrest should be a warning to other businesses. He'll let his officers decide in the future whether to make an arrest on the spot or issue a summons.
And the murder rate in New Orleans is on another record-setting pace. In the first half of this year, we've had more than 200 murders. The latest was this afternoon. 19-year-old Tyrone Allen was found covered in a blanket lying in the 1900 block of Lafreniere Street. He'd been shot several times in the head and chest. Tonight, police are looking for a gray primed four-door vehicle that left the scene just before the body was found. And this latest killing pushes our murder count up to 202.
Last year, a New Orleans woman was killed in an accident, the Judge Sieber Bridge accident. And now a report of that sorts out who's to blame for it. The story from Washington correspondent Bridget Andrews.
May 28, 1993, a towboat collides with the Judge William Sieber Bridge, killing one New Orleans woman and injuring two others. More than a year later, inspectors are looking for answers in the wake of tragedy.
The National Transportation Safety Board determines that the probable cause of the collision was the towboat operator's poor judgment.
But the blame doesn't stop there. A report that attempts to explain the collapse of the bridge points another finger as well, this time at the disjointed safety system that turned its back on the poorly protected bridge.
The damage to the bridge protection was documented over the years. What happened, you know, in the inspection review process, the light didn't go on somewhere.
There were just multiple failures on the part of both federal, state, and local, I guess all three government agencies to effectively do that.
The board will make formal recommendations to several agencies at all levels to develop clear lines of communication and implement more comprehensive risk management strategies. Although the board ruled that blame for the collision ultimately lies with the negligent towboat operator, the incident was an accident just waiting to happen. And for that, they blame a negligent safety system, a system now drawing the attention of many, at least one life too late. In Washington, I'm Bridget Andrews, Channel 6 News.
And you might find it interesting that the Coast Guard suspended the license of the towboat operator, but he has voluntarily left the marine industry and moved to Oklahoma.
From the state capitol now, Governor Edwards still won't say why he won't run for fifth term in office, but he was quick to say that it's not because his 29-year-old bride is pregnant.
By the time the child was in the first grade, I'd be in a nursing home. That's not in the plans. Thank you very much.
The governor won't say whether he'll stay in politics or move on to the private sector. But some speculate that without a re-election bid, Edwards may lose some of his influence, not political author John McGinnis.
He still controls state government like no one I've ever seen before. He may not have a hard time getting the legislature to do everything he wants, but what happens in the government, he has a pretty tight control of and probably will continue to have for the next 18 months.
Edwards says he will announce his plans in the near future, and when he does, his friends will applaud him and his critics will wonder just how he did it. In the wake of the governor's decision not to run, the field of candidates and potential candidates is beginning to spread out. The list includes Secretary of State Fox McKithen, House Speaker John Alario, State Treasurer Mary Landrieu, State Attorney General Richard Ayub, Lieutenant Governor Melinda Swegman, Buddy Romer, Representative Quentin Dasdug, Dave Treen, Insurance Commissioner Jim Brown, and David Duke. Political analyst Cyrus Lee says at this point the advantage goes to State Treasurer Mary Landrieu. Susan?
In international politics, President Clinton tonight is flattering the French. At a formal dinner with French President Mitterrand,